Well, today's the 4th anniversary of kicking off the Measure A campaign back in 1992. Measure A, as people might remember, was our local medical marijuana initiative that was passed by county voters by 77%. Today we're using the occasion of our 4th anniversary to kick off a new statewide initiative campaign for the 1996 California Compassionate Use Act. The act would exempt patients and defined caregivers from health and safety code violations that prohibit marijuana's possession, cultivation, and use if they have a prescription from their doctor.
Thank you.
Now, Scott Imler, who founded the organization, says the group is not trying to legalize pot for all purposes, unlike the hemp movement. He says the main goal is to keep patients who need the drug out of the criminal justice system. Sharon?
Would look like, or what decriminalization or whatever you want to call it would look, normalization, what that would look like. And until they can explain that to parents who are worried about their kids getting a hold of this herb and, you know, it turning them into a heroin addict is erroneous as that might be, that's the perception. And you know, the government's number one argument against us for medical marijuana is that young people will get the wrong message. And you know, I think we have an obligation, if we want to see our reforms enacted, to take those concerns seriously. And unless we do, we won't get anywhere. You know, marijuana is a powerful medicine, and it should be used carefully. It should be used, you know, respectfully, and yeah, with caution, like you'd use any other medicine.
Great. Well, we're organizing to gather petitions for the Californians for Compassionate Use Medical Marijuana Initiative for 1996. We need a lot of signatures, and we have about a month right now to collect, is that, Andrea? 20,000, I think, 20,000 signatures we need to collect in the next 4 weeks. Andrea, was that 20,000 signatures we needed in the next 4 weeks?
We're going to be, we're going to try to get our quota for the county. 20,000 signatures. We need an army out there of signature gatherers, volunteers, and paid petitioners. If anybody is interested in becoming a paid petitioner or volunteer, they can come to the Cannabis Buyers Club on Wednesday afternoons from 1:30 until 4:30.
What's the address?
201 Maple Street. Just come up the ramp, the wheelchair ramp on the side, and we'll be there. And we're going to train people to collect signatures for the petition. And we're going to also, for people who have completed forms, they want to get paid for each signature, 25 cents per signature. We need a lot of people to do this. The Medical Marijuana Initiative, the statewide initiative that is trying to qualify on the November 96 ballot, the Medical Marijuana Initiative. What we need to do is collect 600,000 signatures before April the 15th in order to qualify this initiative on the ballot.
At that point, well, we're not at that point yet. At this point, where we are, we need to gather 20,000 signatures in the next 30 days, was that? Within the next month. And to do this, we're mobilizing as many people in the Santa Cruz area as possible to join in. We're also pleased to add that we're able to pay 25 cents per signature as people are collecting them and helping to qualify this.
So what we're doing is we're encouraging people to become volunteers to collect signatures or paid signature gatherers. And at the Cannabis Buyers Club in Santa Cruz at 201 Maple Street, we're training people how to become signature gatherers for this petition. And on Wednesdays between 1:30 and 4:30, we're going to be here. Jeff and I are the co-coordinators of the Santa Cruz campaign, and we're going to be training people and collecting the completed petitions and paying people 25 cents per signature, per valid signature, for this campaign.
So come on down.
From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water, this land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway, and all around me a golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
In the streets of the city, in the shadow of a steeple, by the welfare office, I saw my people, and some were hungry, and some were wondering if this land was made for you and me. Yay! Piano. Hey, you guys need a piano here.
Really a bad thing because it's, yeah, and it's not like that's always this
Well, what do you guys think about Proposition 215, the medical use of marijuana for the November election?
I think it's a good idea because, I mean, I've heard that it heals a lot. People, like, when they're sick or if they get in a car accident or something. So.
I think they spend too much money trying to keep it illegal, and like camp and how they got a $200,000 money thing or whatever that was, new helicopters and all that. They're just spending way too much money on it, and if they did legalize it, I think the U.S. government would make a lot of money doing it in the process.
What do you feel about the Proposition 215 initiative for medical use of marijuana on the November ballot?
Okay, personally, I think that marijuana should not be legal because I just think that it's a bad drug, and I don't think that people should do it, even if it is used for medical purposes, because there are other medical drugs that could be used for it, and if they make marijuana legal, then people are just going to think it's all good to smoke pot just to get high, and then they'll make up excuses for why they need to smoke it, and they won't really need it for medical uses, because I know people that have done this already. So that's all I have to say. Okay.
What do you think about Proposition 215 on the November ballot for the medical use of marijuana?
I think I'm glad that somebody's made a proposition and put it to the voters. Personally, I think, you know, my position on marijuana is all of its use is medicinal, and I really don't think the government should be constraining its use, you know, when they're allowing drug companies who are basically paying them a lot of money to sell their drugs, which have, you know, extremely negative side effects on a fairly high percentage of the people who take them, when marijuana has very limited side effects on anyone who uses it. It's a big scam as far as I'm concerned, the whole control, the FDA, the control of drugs, and who says what. It's all about billions of dollars changing hands between drug companies and, you know, the government. Personally, I think everybody should, you know, take any drugs they like without anybody's approval, you know, and if they can handle them, great. If they can't, then somebody ought to, you know, let them know. That's my opinion.
The question of the day is, what do you feel about the Proposition 215 on the, it's the initiative for the medical use of marijuana on the November ballot in California? What do you think?
Legalizing it?
Legalizing it for medical use.
Not Mariah Carey or Madonna. I'm here to talk about that initiative about medical marijuana. It could be the answer. Now, Mr. Politician, maybe in the next life you'll be laying in bed with cancer. Yeah. That Tylenol ain't doing it at all. Medical marijuana, it's the way. Governor Wilson, all we need is you're okay. Kind of made him think. Governor Wilson, before you sign it, talk to your shrink. Because this ain't Hogan's Heroes, and you ain't Colonel Clink.
I think the initiative is a really good thing, and I'm a living example, because I've been smoking pot for longer than any man alive. I like to challenge the whole world, because I was 7 years old when I started, and I never stopped. The only time I stopped, I couldn't get it. And listen, it's not to kill people. You don't get no urge to hurt people. You want to make love, so you get high, or turn somebody on with happiness, and just hug them and massage them and make them feel good. And listen, I've had 2 heart attacks, and my doctor told me I had to stop smoking cigarettes and marijuana. He told me I had to stop making love. I said, well, listen, I am not going to stop marijuana. I'm going to smoke until I drop, and I ain't going to stop. And I ain't going to put no girls down either, because one is not that great without the other. Now, about how long, I said, I've been doing it. How many years is it? When I was 7, I'll be 70 next month. How many years is that?
63.
I've been doing it 53 years, and 63 years, and I got 2 heart attacks, and I got a good heart here, and I can whoop 17 people, and it not without a hit of marijuana, folks. It's not only magic. It gives you strength. It gets rid of stress, unhappiness, negativity. It's the most beautiful antidote there is in the world. And I won't stop till I drop. And I'm going to tell you how good it is to smoke it, yeah. And I say, I can imagine that I'm taking it. I can imagine that I'm smoking it and get a rush. And I can smell somebody else smoking a block away and get a rush. And get busy and tend to my business, and my mind and everything comes back to me.